All right, guys, what's happening? What's happening? It is Monday, May 2nd, 2022. This morning, we're going to spend some time talking about balance. What exactly is balance? When people talk about work-life balance and not overdoing it, it's a big conversation in today's world. And we're going to unpack that this morning. I'm going to give you my perspective on balance, kind of how I do it, and hopefully we can have some good conversation around that this morning. It is good to be back, folks. Let's get started.
It is ultimately important for you to look at your goals, truly what you want to do in your life, and then look at the people who you spend the most time with in your life and figure out if that lines up.
All right, guys, what's happening? Happy Monday to you. It is, it's good to be back. I had a lengthy road trip, which makes it challenging. I used to try to do these episodes while I was on the road, but it makes it super challenging to do. I'm going to figure out some other solution so that I can fill in those gaps, other than just replaying old episodes. But I'll figure something out as far as how I can, how I can fill in the gaps so I'm not missing you guys all the time. But really appreciate you guys being here. Really appreciate all the messages while I was on the road. Just checking in. It is quite a cool community that we've built here that kind of comes together every single morning at 8 a.m. Eastern to chat about life, to chat about business, to chat about family, faith, all the things that we talk about here on this show. But this morning, we're going to talk about balance. I get a lot of messages about this because of, travel and things like that. People always want to know, how do you balance everything? And, how do you deal with kind of the hectic nature of your schedule and things like that? And, for me, balance is very simply put, it is living a life that makes you feel fulfilled, right? And there is always going to be something that feels out of balance. And that pendulum that swings back and forth, that feels slightly out of balance one way or the other, that, really becomes something that is normal and expected. And it is for me, something that I overcome by being present where my feet are, right? By being present with whoever you are in front of. So, leaving last Saturday and coming back last night, there were a lot of different things that were going on during that time that I was away. I try my best, and this isn't always perfect either, but I always try my best that, if I'm going to invest time to be away from my family, trying to capitalize on that time, meaning making the best of that time that I'm on the road and away from them. When I get home, I try my best this weekend to stay focused on the kids, focused on my wife, focused on the people who are at home. And so to me, it is, it's not about trying to perfect that idea of, where you are, because in all reality, depending on what your aspirations are and what your goals are, you have to make sacrifices. And so to a lot of people in the world, that might seem out of balance, so to say. But to me, it is just part of the process of getting where I'm trying to go and to get our team and our companies where we're trying to go. It takes a lot of sacrifice, and that can sometimes be viewed as being out of balance. But for me, that feeling of accomplishment, that feeling of fulfillment that comes from chasing what it is that you have always wanted to do is my definition of balance, right? It is being a good father, being a good husband, being a great business leader, having success in the companies that I'm associated to. That is my definition of balance. That's what it looks like. And to me, I think that, people in the world put way too much stock into trying to, make all of that perfect. And, I think that that's where the conversation comes in of, the many different ways that people use the word balance. And so to you, I encourage all of you guys to think about that from your own perspectives, and this was a big challenge for me for a lot of my life is, not necessarily always being present where I was, right? So, if I was at work, I might be focused on a bunch of different things, right? And so, when you're at work and you're focused on things at home, or you're at work and you're focused on something else, that is not necessarily what I describe as balance. And so as I was able to overcome that, as I was able to, spend a lot more time focused on whatever it was that was right in front of me, I found myself to be more productive. I actually felt more balanced, if you will, because I was able to spend less time at work, focused on work, and more time at home with my family, because I cut out those distractions, right? I cut out those things that really took me away from whatever the task at hand was. Whatever that task was in front of me, it was a lot easier to focus on that task when I didn't have those distractions. And so it is, not necessarily worrying about everything that's going on outside of work unless there's an emergency, right? And so that allows me to spend less time focused on those things that I need to focus on, because I'm completely focused in one singular direction, as opposed to my focus and attention being spread all over the place. And I believe if you guys can focus on that one thing, just being present where you are, not if you're at work, not being on Facebook, or not being on Amazon shopping, or not doing all the things that can distract us in a day. I think that single thing will create more balance in your life. And so when you can focus on those things that are right in front of you, in my opinion, that is actually what creates balance and what is balance, right? Because balance, guys, comes from feeling like everything is kind of in control, right? You got everything focused, you got everything in control, and your life feels balanced. It's not about having this perfect amount of time either direction. Certainly you need to take that into consideration, right? You can't have children and spend every single day of your life away from them. Some people have to do that, and that's part of their responsibility. But for me, that wouldn't work. I would take a different path than having to do that. But it is able to be achieved by staying focused on where you are, getting the best results out of that present scenario that you're spending time in. And at the end of that, you're going to feel fulfilled every step of the way. The amount of productivity that I got done last week while I was on the road was tremendous, right? Just so many new relationships, so many people that I was able to see, so many new opportunities we were able to create for our companies. Just everything kind of fit together. And then coming home this weekend, I was able to spend a tremendous amount of time with the wife, with the children. And, now I'm back in my normal scheduled program here at the office and back at it. And so I challenge you to think about that, because I think a lot of people carry a lot of guilt with this idea of balance. They might see other people that get to spend a lot more time at home, or a lot more time doing things that they necessarily can't. But it's not about that. It's about how you spend that time, right? That is the key for me. It is quality time in whatever area of your life you're talking about. And so if that area of your life is business, it's quality time focused on what it is that you're doing. How much productivity are you getting? What are the results that you're getting? That is how it matters in business. In personal life, how many times am I going out on date night with my wife? How many times am I taking my kids somewhere, just me and them, or just the family, right? Those are the times, those are the moments that I believe create balance. And so I think that the way that society looks at balance, or how it can be, construed, is completely off the mark in today's world. I think that, we really put a lot of pressure on ourselves to try to achieve the unachievable, which is, try to create this, somehow fairy tale balanced life that I haven't seen exist for anybody yet. So that's what I wanted you guys to think about this morning. Balance. What is it? How do you define it? I hope that what I covered this morning here and the examples that I gave will give you guys some things to think about, some some perspective on just how balance looks, right? What is it? And how can you rearrange that to maybe feel a little bit better about what it is that you're doing? Because progress is important, man. It is so important for you to be able to make progress in your life. Now, when I say progress, most of you are going to think about business, but what is progress as a parent? What is progress as a spouse? What is progress in leadership and business? All of those things are so important, and you will not feel fulfilled. And to me, fulfillment and balance are one and the same. You will not feel fulfilled until you're checking those boxes in every single aspect of your life. So think about that. Your faith, your family, your business, all of the above, your fitness. You have to figure out how to juggle all of that, right? Being healthy, all of it is connected together. And that is the true definition of balance. And at no point in my life have I ever felt like I had it figured out. Never. I'm in pursuit of it, and I'm constantly aware of it. But I've never felt like I was perfectly balanced. But I feel like I make a lot better decisions today about that balance than I have in the past. So think about that one. Put that into practice into your own life. What does it look like? What does that balance actually feel like and look like? And when you achieve it, when you have a massive amount of momentum in your life, to me, the balance gets easier to achieve. So when you're winning in business, when things are going really well, it's easier to be a better parent and a better spouse, isn't it? And when things are going well at home, man, it's so much easier to be great in business. And so figuring out how to make all of that work, I believe, starts and ends with being present where your feet are. Be present with those people that you're spending time with. Be attentive to what it is that's going on in front of you. Trust me, the rest of everything in life is going to unfold. It's going to take its course. It's going to be what it is. But being present where your feet are, I believe, is the first step of balance. Just be present, be disciplined to pay attention to what it is that you're doing right at that moment. And you'll find yourself more productive. You'll find yourself more successful, and life will get a lot more fulfilled. That's it for this morning, guys. I appreciate all you guys being here. Say good morning to some folks here. Mr. Jeff Nelson, what's happening? Job Box, what's happening, guys? Good morning to you. Keith Calloway Jr., Brett Brown, what's happening? Matt Johnson, good morning to you. Kyle Lashone, good morning. Tammy Clark, my girl, good morning to you. Daniel Good, good morning. Rick, Trudy, Bob, Cynthia, Michael, Jared, Ryan Austin, what's happening, brother? Gary, Dan, Marvin, what's happening, guys? Good morning to you. Thank you guys for being here. It is good to be back with you. And until next time, I will see you tomorrow morning, same place, same time, right here on Morning Perspective. I love you guys. Thanks for being here. What's happening, Q? Good morning to you. We're out. See you tomorrow.
It is ultimately important for you to look at your goals, truly what you want to do in your life, and then look at the people who you spend the most time with in your life and figure out if that lines up.